And welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. It's Wednesday night. You know where the place to be is. It's right here, the Inland Sports Show at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in. Giant show tonight. We've got Hank Bachmeier, former Murrieta Valley star, now at Boise State. We are going to talk Ramona High School golf. We've also got Jim Alexander from the Press Enterprise, because there's this discussion now that UC Riverside could potentially, not for sure, might even be a long shot, but UCR could potentially be losing sports. So we're going to talk about that as well. Leading off the show, though, we're going live to Temescal Canyon High School. Football practice going down for the Titans. Right now, the head coach, Brian Hildebrand. Coach, first off, man, you are at practice. How does that feel right now?
Oh, man, it's awesome. You know, it's been a long time coming, 6 months since we've been able to get back out on the football field. And this is the first time we've actually seen our players in action. So it's great to see all of our guys. They're enthusiastic, excited. Our coaches are ready to go. We're organized and we're working hard.
Yeah, Coach, as a first-year head coach, literally, this is the first time you've seen your guys, right? Running around on the turf.
We had a couple meetings back in March, but we really haven't been able to see them on the field. I watched a lot of film, tried to have our guys send us workout videos, see what they're doing, and try to keep them accountable. But, this is the first time seeing them live in action. And so today we finished up our speed, agility, and change of direction drill. So it was really great to see our guys out here competing and working hard.
Well, Coach, I know Temescal Canyon, you guys are one of the pioneers, one of the trailblazers, one of the first teams to get out there and start these workouts. What is a practice? What does a workout look like right now? Because I'm sure it's a little bit different than what we would normally come accustomed to for football.
Yeah, so we're practicing and keeping our guys in pods. We got to keep them organized. We're working with a 9-player to 1-coach ratio. We got to take temperatures before practice. We have to go through our protocols and check for all the symptoms. Make sure we're doing everything right and keeping our guys healthy, keeping everyone safe. But we've been working within pods. We got about 7 groups going right now. So we're spread out over 2 fields and we're rotating them through stations. But really, the main difference is that we got guys separated. They're not able to interact with other groups and with each other the way that we'd like. But, it's great to see them working. We're building camaraderie. We're building the team. And so overall, it's good to have them out there.
Yeah, Coach, you just touched on it, the importance of that camaraderie and that team building, even if there's not even an actual football involved, but just to have the guys together running around and, doing something as a team. How beneficial is this time together right now?
Well, it's not only great for the team. I mean, these guys have been separated for the past 6 months, and so it's been hard. They want to be together. We want to be with our players, get to know them, get to see what drives them, and learn about them as people, as individuals. And, they really miss each other. And I've never seen guys so excited to get out there and condition and to run and get out there in 96-degree weather and get after it. And I know for our coaches, building a relationship with our players, that is something that we pride ourselves on and that we care about deeply. So it's been awesome, man. You know, they're all smiling from ear to ear, even though they're giving everything they got and emptying the tank out here.
Well, Coach, we're talking with Coach Hildebrand live at Temescal Canyon High School right now. Coach, what do you think, just trying to guess, but what do you think the next couple of months might look like for a high school football team as we ramp up towards January in those first real games? Do you think we might see some 7-on-7? You know, what do you think the next couple of months might look like?
We're hoping so. I mean, we want to get back to football, but we're glad to be out here on the field and just getting after it. We're in phase 1 of coming back, and so that's going to entail we can only do conditioning. We can't use equipment. We can't use footballs. We can't lift weights. But we can run. We can use cones. We can work on our speed, our agility, and our conditioning. And I think we'll see a gradual rollout. Everyone's ready to get back to football. I have gotten some information about passing tournaments being set up for November, and you know, it's great for the kids. It's great for our school. It's great for our community. And everyone wants football back. So the sooner we can get it back, the better.
Coach, man, it's always good talking to you. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to join us live from your practice. And I know there's probably a lot of high school football coaches watching this right now saying, man, I wish I was Coach Hildebrand. I wish I was at a practice with my guys right now.
Absolutely. We're lucky to be out here. Love coming on the show and talking to you. Really excited about what we're doing here at Temescal Canyon. We have a great group of guys. We're going to work extremely hard. We're going to do everything right to keep our guys healthy, keep our guys safe. But it's a big deal for us to be out here. And our guys are, you know, just glad to be on a football field, talking football, and, you know, coming together. So thanks a lot, Pep. I appreciate it. Now I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. That's Coach Hildebrand live at Temescal Canyon High School. Coach, best of luck this upcoming season, and yeah, I'm sure we'll check in again soon.
All right, thanks. Take care.
That's Coach Hildebrand live at Temescal Canyon. We're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, man, I am so excited to talk to this guy. Hank Bachmeier, the former Murrieta Valley High School star, now lighting it up at Boise State. He will join us live on the show when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Need an oil change? Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Family owned and operated, they're committed to our community. There's 2 locations, so there's one close to you, off the 91 freeway at Arlington and off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. Oil changes are very important, so make sure you swing by. It only takes 10 minutes, and you can do a lot more than just have your oil changed. How about new wiper blades? How about an air filter? Plus many more services such as radiator and transmission. Find out more information at 2getspoiled.com. Don't wait. Get spoiled today. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Kin Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kinsportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Kin Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Kin Sporting Goods.
Back to the Inland Sports Show. Big thanks to Coach Hildebrand, live from Temescal Canyon High School in their football practice tonight. Now we're going live with one of our favorite guys on the show. He always makes time for us. We're always so appreciative. He's the former Murrieta Valley High School quarterback. He is now at Boise State. He started as a true freshman. Anyway you slice it, he's a stud, and he's live on the show right now. It's Hank Bachmeier. Hank, how are you doing right now?
I'm doing pretty good. Just started school, so started my sophomore year. I'm excited. Love Boise. Always miss home, but always repping Murrieta Valley right there. Yeah.
I'm sure Coach Wilson, the whole gang over there with the Nighthawks were excited to see that because obviously, you know, you were their poster boy for the program for 4 seasons as a starting quarterback, and anyone who follows local high school football obviously is familiar with your name. But I do want to talk some Boise State football because, man, you burst onto the scene as a true freshman. You started 8 games. You won 7 of them. How would you kind of sum up how your freshman year went with the Broncos at Boise State?
Roller coaster, to be honest. I got hurt, dealt with some stuff, but it was an incredible opportunity, and I'm just so excited to get back as soon as possible. It was a great honor just to be able to play for such a prestigious program and represent the Inland Empire, represent Murrieta Valley High School, and it was awesome. Definitely some memories I'll never forget. So I'm excited just to continue my journey and just whenever that happens.
Well, Hank, let's go back to maybe even like last summer when you signed with Boise State, first get up there. And, I know a lot of college coaches will say, oh, we've got an open quarterback competition. The best guy will win. The best guy will get the starting job. But when you went up there and you knew you had to compete for the starting job as a true freshman, did you really think, hey, I'm in the mix? Like, what was kind of your mindset going into that quarterback competition?
So I actually didn't necessarily go in the summer. I enrolled right after my senior season of football. I enrolled in December to go in and I started college, So I started in January. I started my first semester of college, spring semester. So it was just a big adjustment, being the oldest of 5 and just being away from my family. So that was tough, just adjusting to college life, to college classes, eating on my own, sleeping on, living on my own, trying to get food on my own. All that stuff was really tough just to adjust on the outside, off the field stuff. And then football coming in, I think the biggest adjustment was just learning a really complex and complicated playbook. That's kind of its own foreign language, I'd say. It's kind of like learning Spanish or something like that. So that was the biggest adjustment was probably from that. And then I think everybody physically is a specimen and has incredible skills. So I think that biggest thing just to separate yourself is just from a mental capacity and just a mental perspective, I think is a big deal. So just kind of learning that playbook, I would study every single night, just trying to learn the plays, and I would have a whiteboard and I drew up like the X and the Z on poker chips, and I was doing those every single night. And actually my girlfriend would quiz me on plays every single day. So that was a big deal. So when I did get onto the field, I was very comfortable operating at a high level, or at least, I made some mistakes, but I think that those mistakes even just helped me grow. So, yeah.
I hope there's some young quarterbacks watching this right now, and they know the dedication, the amount of work that guys like yourself put in, because maybe they think, they go up to Boise State and they just hand them the starting job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, like there's so many hours, the relentlessness behind the scenes, of the hours and hours you put in to get to this level. Hank, was there a moment from your freshman season at Boise State that really stood out for you? Was there a game? Was there a touchdown pass? Was it Florida State? What really stood out when you look back at your freshman year that really, a moment that you really remember and hold on to?
Well, I guess kind of my first introduction to college football was pretty incredible. I just remember we were supposed to play like a primetime game on ESPN at like 7:00 at night at Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium. But last year there was a Hurricane Dorian at the time. So they moved the game to like 12 Eastern time at Tallahassee. So it was a big adjustment And I just remember it was like 95 degrees at 10 in the morning, and it was like 90% humidity. And I'm just sweating, and we're getting ready to play, and you just hear their chant, the Seminole chant and the war chant in the crowd, and you see Chief Osceola run out with the flaming spear, and he shoves it down on the 50-yard line, and I'm just watching this, and I was like, oh my God, I'm playing college football. It's pretty surreal. Yeah.
Dude, I remember watching that game, and I was cheering from you from my living room.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, that was a special moment for you, but you got great fans at Boise State as well. What's it like playing up there?
There's nothing like the blue. It's pretty incredible. Just the stands are always packed. It's such an incredible environment. I love Boise. Like, I could see myself living here, for the rest of my life. But just to be able to play in front of incredible fans in Bronco Nation is just, it's humbling, and it's an incredible honor to play with an incredible team that has had such success since they've started. So just to try and kind of be able to keep that legacy going is awesome. Just kind of be a part of that cog of that machine is awesome.
Yeah, Boise State certainly one of the top football programs in the country, and they have been for a while now. Hank, when we talk about COVID-19, it's obviously turned the whole college football world upside down. It's just crazy right now. A lot of conferences have postponed. Some are actually playing right now. What have you heard from Boise State? Are you still trying to be prepared and hoping that you have games in the spring?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We're just always trying to get better every single day. Did start school. A lot of it's, I'm probably sure, like a lot of the high schools and colleges out in California are doing the same thing as far as Zoom, doing stuff like this right here where it's on Zoom. So like I said, just kind of keeping all that off the field stuff in order. And then as far as football, you always just got to be ready, kind of like being able to study, like I mentioned earlier. And then just, obviously the physical aspect of football, being in shape and condition, and then just throwing the ball is a big deal too.
Hank, let me ask you, what is something that you learned at Murrieta Valley High School that still applies to big-time college football at Boise State? Is there something as a quarterback that you learned? Maybe it's a mindset, maybe it's a technique, maybe it's being coachable, just something that you picked up as a Nighthawk that you're like, you know what, man, football is football. It still applies here at Boise State.
Yeah, no, really just those core foundational principles of just hard work. I think in any field of life is going to take you anywhere, because at the end of the day, football is hard. Like college football is really hard. It's a grind every single day. You're waking up 6 a.m. every single day. You got to watch film. You got practice. You got school. You got to get dinner. You got to feed yourself. There's a lot of traits that you have to have, but I would say the biggest thing is hard work. And I think just kind of what Murrieta Valley just instilled to me was working hard every single day, showing up and grinding. And I think not just in football, but in life, that's a very big attribute to just success and just being able to go out and do what you love and be successful at it.
Well, Hank, I think I've heard you say more than once that you have to fend for yourself when it comes to dinner, finding your own food, cooking your own food.
Yeah.
So what is a Hank Bachmeier special? Like, what do you prepare? Like, if you're just home by yourself and you're like, man, I got to find something to eat. Like, is it like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese? I mean, what is a Hank Bachmeier dinner special?
So I'm a big breakfast guy, so I might do some breakfast for dinner. Just do some pancakes and eggs, maybe some toast. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. So I'll just mix up the batter, throw some scrambled eggs on there, and some syrup and butter, and then get some toast, and it's usually pretty good. I can eat that anytime.
I'm a breakfast guy too, so I can totally relate. And Hank, I did want to give a shout out to your brother. I hear there's another Bachmeier coming up through the ranks, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, Tiger Bachmeier. He'll be at Murrieta Valley whenever they start playing. So excited for him. Hopefully I can get out to a couple games. Excited for him. And then they got a stud quarterback. That was my backup there, who I'm hoping will have a great year. Brandon Rose.
Yeah, he's a good one too, man. The Nighthawks should have offensively. They should have good players in place.
Yeah, I'm excited for them. Whenever the season starts, I want to try and watch some games for sure.
You know, I know obviously like going back to last season as a freshman at Boise State and being the starter for much of the season, obviously you're very busy. You just outlined going to class and going to away games and training, all these different things. But did you have a chance to kind of follow along with Murrieta Valley High School and how they were doing throughout their season?
Oh, yeah. I watched, I think one of the games was on that prep zone. So I watched a playoff game against Rancho Cucamonga. I think they lost. I think that was a playoff game. But yeah, I'm always, I'm a Nighthawk for life. So I'm always paying attention to Coach Wilson and his football team. So,
Hank, I really appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us on the show. I know, again, you are a busy guy. Even though classes are on Zoom and stuff, I know you got a lot going on. Yeah. I do appreciate it. You probably have some pancakes calling your name right now, so we'll let you get back to dinner or studying or whatever you got going on. But, man, I do appreciate it, and best of luck this upcoming season whenever it happens.
Thank you for having me on. You guys do a great job covering the Inland Empire, and I'm just trying to do my best to represent
Man, you got a lot of fans down here. Appreciate it, Hank.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. That's Hank Bachmeier, former Murrieta Valley High School quarterback, and now at Boise State. Started as a true freshman, 7-1 as a starter. Unbelievable college start for Hank Bachmeier for his college career. And again, Boise State, part of the Mountain West Conference. Still waiting to see what's going to happen for their upcoming season. They have said maybe they'll try to revisit the season in the spring. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for Hank Bachmeier and the Boise State Broncos. We're going to take another commercial break. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to talk Ramona High School golf. We have Roman Comaduran, their head coach for the boys and the girls. They've won a bunch of league titles in recent years. And then after that, Jim Alexander from the Southern California News Group. We got to talk about UC Riverside. There's a proposal on the table that would eliminate athletics at UCR. Could it actually happen? We'll talk about it a little bit later here on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports. Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
First
off, Centennial High School running back J.J. Taylor making the New England Patriots 53-man roster.
Wow.
So the pride of Centennial High School running that rock for the Patriots this weekend against Miami. And I know 40 years Centennial guys, so that hits real close to home for you.
That's the thing with everything we're hearing, too, about that new book, The Dynasty, coming out. We know that he is going to be treated the exact same way that Belichick treated Brady, because he treats everybody like a rookie. That is awesome for one of our IE guys to be there and be under one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time. Very cool, dude.
Man, what a dream come true for J.J. Taylor, the pride of Centennial High School. And then we've got Tyler Algier. Now, he might not be a household name yet, but he is the starting running back for BYU, and he went off against Navy last night. BYU won 55-3, and Algier had 123 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, but they really spread the wealth in that one. He didn't get a ton of carries. He only had like 12 carries, but he went off. Keep an eye on Tyler Algier at BYU. He's a good one at running back.
Inland Sports. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Huge thanks to Hank Bachmeier, the starting quarterback at Boise State University, and of course the pride of Murrieta Valley High School. Great to catch up with him and see how he's doing, and just up there in Boise making those pancakes and throwing touchdowns. So great to check in with Hank Bachmeier. Now we're going to hit the links. We're going to talk with Ramona High School golf coach Roman Comaduran, live from the Comaduran compound. Is that where school happens, Coach? Right there? Is that your dining room or kitchen?
Yeah, it's actually the kitchen, and yes, this is where school happens. I've been teaching actually from the classroom and from the house, so a little bit of back and forth. So yes, this is my away classroom person. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have away studios, away classrooms, away workspaces, all that kind of stuff because of the time that we're living in. But I did want to talk some golf with you because, man, you guys have been collecting all those league titles in the River Valley League for boys and girls in recent years. It's been a great run on both sides for the boys and girls. What's the secret recipe? What's that secret ingredient you got going on right now at Ram High?
Well, I tell you what, we have been very, very fortunate. The last few years, we've had success on both sides with the girls' teams and the boys' teams. And really, I tell you, it's the kids that we have at Ramona. They're fantastic and they're well behaved and they want to learn. They want to get better. And success breeds success, and our program continues to grow. And of course, large part to the support that we have from our administration with our principal, and as well as our assistant principal of athletics, John Tibbles. So with the help of our principal, Mr. Cisneros, and John Tibbles, they keep supporting our program, and it continues to thrive and get bigger and better every year. So we're very pleased in the direction that we are going.
Yeah, John Tibbles, one of our favorites, one of the best out there at Ramona High School, the AD. And Coach, I wanted to ask you, so for golf, we've seen the new CIF calendar, and correct me if I'm wrong, girls golf would be a fall sport, boys golf would be a spring sport, right? And then now, but they're all together?
That's correct. That's normally we'd be right in the middle of starting the fall season with the girls team, and then yes, the boys in the spring, but under the new two-season format, the boys and the girls will be playing during the spring season in 2021.
So, Coach, how do you think that's going to work out? If you obviously, because you're the head coach for the boys and the girls, and usually, like you said, you have a season in the fall, season in the spring, and you can kind of be everywhere that you need to be. But now, if they're overlapping in the same exact season with this CIF calendar, how do you think that might look come this spring?
Well, it's going to take a lot of work from the schools, and it's going to take a lot of work from the coaches within our league. We've met our RVL golf coaches, and our big picture, maybe pie in the sky per se, is maybe even having the boys and the girls play at the same venue on the same date, kind of lessen the travel, possibly an earlier start for either the boys and girls, and then the second match afterwards against the same school to kind of lessen the travel. Definitely, some of the bigger golf programs in the IE, where they also have a JV team and assistant coaches. But flying solo per se for the last few years. And I have had a few different assistant coaches over the years, and then I'm going to be picking up a new assistant coach for the girls to help out, because again, you can't be same place in the same time. And you may have heard her name too. It's our former girls golf captain, helped win 3 titles at our school. She was league MVP for 2 of those years, and that's Sharon Tran. So she's a CBU student, but she's going to be coming on as an assistant to help out during the spring season to kind of help with the load of coaching both teams at the same time. So it's going to be challenging for a lot of different reasons. But again, having that relationship with the golf course is going to really what would help matters quite a bit. So it's going to be different. It's going to be challenging, to say the least.
Absolutely, but you bring up a great point. If you guys could do it at the same course on the same day, I think it's a great plan if you can get some buy-in from all the other stakeholders involved. Coach, if you've seen me hit a golf ball on the course, you would probably already know I'm good at social distancing. I'm never around the hole. I'm out in the woods and the fringe and whatnot. But when I heard, about sports and COVID-19 and how do you social distance and how do you make sports still work, I thought, man, of all the sports, and correct me if I'm wrong, but of all the sports, I would think golf might have the best chance of pulling that off, that you can social distance, keep, you're not touching each other's equipment. Like it seems like a match made in heaven that you could actually pull off something like this for golf.
Right. I mean, that's great points you make there. Of all the sports, you would think, and I do believe it would probably be the easiest for us because there is so much social distancing already within our sport. All the kids have their own equipment. They don't touch each other's equipment. It's not even their golf balls. And, there's things that we could do with the pin at the course, whether we're leaving it in, not taking it out, et cetera. And so, the practices, matches, we do that already. And so it would not be very difficult for our sport because of the fact that it already lends itself, per se, like you mentioned, to social distancing.
Coach, when you guys finally get back together as a team and start practicing, that'll be a great thing. But I know golf season, again, in the spring, that seems like months. It seems like so far away right now. But what can you guys do as a team right now, using technology to at least, stay in touch with your players and continue to feel like you guys are getting better maybe before that season starts?
Well, just like all coaches, keeping that connection with your students in various ways, your student athletes in various ways. And I do that. I'm constantly sending them text messages, remind messages. We have our team meetings. Matter of fact, even tomorrow we have a boys golf meeting, and then an hour later have the girls golf meeting. And so having those meetings, but the kids also, I'm in these text messages is not just checking up on them, see how they're doing with their grades, of course. And, but I'm sending them golf videos. I'm sending them golf instructional clips here and there. Sometimes just some funny golf videos as well, not just tutorials. But they're also, when they go to the course, they take pictures. They videotape their swing, and they'll send it to me at times, and then I'll provide feedback. Obviously, it's not the same as that close proximity instruction, but we're trying to do the best that we can and keep the door open, keep connecting with them, and so I know all coaches do that, and it's so important because the kids need to feel connected to the team, and it's kind of hard when you can't meet as a team per se physically, but we do so in various realms as I shared.
Well, Coach, something else you had mentioned before about, doing things as a team is you would like to take the guys and the girls out to the desert for the PGA and the LPGA tournaments. And I bring it up because we do have the LPGA tournament coming into the desert this weekend out in the Coachella Valley. And that's a great team bonding thing. You can't do it this year, but that's such a great thing to do as a team.
It is, and for the last few years, we've been doing that at Ramona. And again, thanks to the support to our admin team out there being on board with that. But I take the boys annually to the Farmers Insurance Open in Torrey Pines, down in Torrey Pines in San Diego. And we've been doing that for, like I said, for a few years. We actually did attend this year, just prior to the pandemic. And then for the girls, I take them to an LPGA event. And this week it's the rescheduled A&A Inspiration, their first major out in Rancho Mirage at the Westin, the old Dinah Shore course. So I take them out there, and I've also taken them down to Carlsbad. And, just for all the golf coaches that are out there, just want to, toss it for LPGA events. The cost is free to all juniors, boys and girls. So, I don't pass that up. Anytime you can have an experience, an outing, and it doesn't cost you anything, I take advantage of that. And so I want to share that to all the golf coaches out there, that taking your team, boys and girls, it doesn't just have to be the girls team, but to an LPGA event, doesn't cost you anything. The Farmers will, the PGA will, but that's a great bonding, and they're up front, and they're able to see, of course, golf at its highest level, and they're so close to the action, and that's it really is a great experience, and I enjoy it myself. It's just great seeing them watch the tournament, and it really is exciting.
Yeah, watch the pros do it. That's a very high level of golf out there. And again, the LPGA out in the desert this weekend. Coach Comaduran, good seeing you. And I don't know, I guess golf season will be here before you know it, although it seems so far away right now. But it will happen, right?
It will happen. That's right. Going to think positive, and like I said, keep on doing what you're doing, Pep. We really appreciate all that you do for the Inland Empire, and just the Southland with sports and all the high school teams and coaches. We thank you. And again, I hope your family and your crew there at Inland Sports is safe during all this time as well.
We are, and thank you, Coach. God bless you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
God bless you, Coach.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Coach Comaduran from Ramona High School here on the Inland Sports Show. We do appreciate it. When we come back, Jim Alexander, the Press Enterprise, the Southern California News Group, talking UCR Athletics. We'll be right back.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
Need an oil change? Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Family owned and operated, they're committed to our community. There's 2 locations, so there's one close to you, off the 91 freeway at Arlington and off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. Oil changes are very important, so make sure you swing by. It only takes 10 minutes, and you can do a lot more than just have your oil changed. How about new wiper blades? How about an air filter? Plus many more services such as radiator and transmission. Find out more information at 2getspoiled.com. Don't wait. Get spoiled today.
I always tell, my student athletes that, hey, gains are gains. It's everyone's where they're at, and all you have to worry about is making those small improvements. I see, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I see kids who start off, slow and end up being really good, and talented student athletes, and I see others who start off really fast and they end up, petering out. And a lot of that has to do with, the hype of being a young student athlete and having all this shine, all this glory, and then you stop working. So, and I hate that. I feel like that's one of the things as a coach you have to, really hammer into your athletes that, it's a journey, and starting in high school or even making it to college, it's just all part of the journey, but not the destination. The destination is growth. Destination is to keep moving forward. So what I do want to see is I want to see them grow. I want to see them grow academically. I want to see them to grow physically. And as long as we get that growth, they're gonna see some change. They're gonna be better off than where they were, and it's gonna set them on a good path athletically and academically throughout life. So if you think you're ready to grow, if you think you're ready to move out of your comfort zone, then come train here at Boost. Because I tell you right now, it's not a place to be comfortable. We're gonna push you. We're gonna help you grow. But if you think you're ready for it, come check us out.
would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. We have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for.
What a show. We've had a great Inland Sports show so far. Big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here at Teen Vision TV 16. We had Brian Hildebrand, head football coach at Temescal Canyon High School, live from his practice tonight. We had Hank Bachmeier, live from Boise State. We just had Roman Comaduran, the Ramona High School golf coach. And now, I will say the best for last. I'll just say it. Jim Alexander from the Southern California News Group, a longtime friend of the show. We love having Jim on. And Jim, you've, I want to say, been kind of a little bit quiet, hanging out in your sports bunker, I guess, but still rattling the sports cages out there for everyone. And everyone's talking about, of course, UC Riverside and that proposal, I guess, that's floating around out there that they could eliminate athletics. From what you can gather, is this a real thing? Is it legitimate? Is it a long shot? What's kind of your take on it?
It's hard to tell. I mean, some people are convinced that, nah, it's not going to happen. It's just an arguing point, a bargaining point, that they're not really serious about it. But then there are other people who are convinced, and I'm sort of the same way, that the Chancellor, Kim Wilcox, really does not have much appetite for intercollegiate athletics. And the fact that they submitted this budget document and athletics was the first item on the list of things to be cut, and that you're talking about something that has a $24 million budget, and it's like, oh, we can do this, and what have you. And I'm a little leery of it, because you've got a lot of people that are signing petitions and are using the hashtag and all that, and that's great. But at the end of the day, the determination is going to be, can they afford this? And that determination is going to be a lot easier to make that they can if enough people step up and say, we will increase our support, or we will start supporting, or we'll kick in enough money. we'll buy enough tickets, what have you, that all of a sudden you're not supporting athletics with 90% of institutional support. That's what it's going to come down to in the end.
You know, the only thing I've seen, Jim, comparable to this was I was covering Cal State Bakersfield, and they were eliminating several sports. And the only sports community that really rallied to, like you said, privately fund to keep the sport around was wrestling. Everything else kind of died, you know, on the roadside. Like, it just didn't happen. And the wrestling community was very strong. It came together. It was able to privately fundraise. I mean, I know there's a lot of people on social media, and they're doing the keep UCR athletics thing, and they're trying to raise support, and I think it's great. But at the end of the day, you're right. Like, they're going to need sponsors and donors. And yes, I will buy season tickets to baseball and basketball and those sorts of things. They're going to have to put up the money, right?
I would say so. I mean, and strength in numbers is good. And if you get several thousand people, if you get maybe 20, 30, 40,000 people to say, hey, I think UCR athletics is important enough to keep, that does send a message. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the bottom line. And it's going to come down to, if there's a $50 million deficit because of COVID-19, how do they address it? And I could see a situation where certain sports might get a haircut, or certain sports might get discontinued to help meet that obligation. But to just pull the rug out from under everything, to me, it just doesn't make it doesn't make a lot of sense unless your agenda all along has been, let's get rid of athletics. And I wonder, there's, as well as I do, there's a lot of people on that campus who have no use for athletics and have said all along, well, if they get rid of that, maybe we'll get some more money. I'm convinced of that. And I don't know if those people have the budget committee's ear. I don't know if those people have Kim Wilcox's ear. But to me, my gut feeling, and I've talked to a few people, I haven't talked to enough people to really get an accurate picture, I don't think. But my gut feeling is UCR athletics is going to need a ninth inning walk-off. So that's the situation that they're in.
You wrote a column yesterday. Do you feel like a follow-up column will be coming shortly, depending on, I don't know, maybe a decision from the school, or if they say, we've created our new budget and we're going to unveil it, like next week. Do you feel like between now and their decision, there could be a lot of movement in terms of keeping or not keeping the athletic program?
I don't know. I would imagine that there's going to be some stuff happening fairly soon on the margins. But as far as a decision whether to keep it or cast it aside, the impression that everybody has is that nothing will happen until October, at least. Maybe late October, maybe even beyond that, maybe even into November, December. And like I say, I don't know. There were 4 or 5 different parts of the university, different entities that were listed on that document as possible places where they can cut. And by cut, I mean eliminate. See, that's the thing. And I think we all understood when this pandemic happened and seasons were shortened and NCAA tournament money was reduced, that everybody was going to have to do some belt tightening and everybody was going to have to cut. And it's a matter of how deep you want to go. And when Stanford eliminated 11 varsity sports, I think that sent a message. But then Stanford had this huge athletic program anyway. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing was, well, if Stanford can do it, nobody's safe. Everybody's susceptible. But it's one thing to cut individual sports, as painful as it is, but to cut an entire program, to me, that's just that's too drastic. Is there? And it's like I wrote this morning. It's like I wrote it this morning. If you cut it, it's gone forever. It's not coming back.
Jim, you've covered sports for a long time. Can you think of another, let's say, Division I athletics program that just was, like you said, just cut, just gone? Like, I don't know. Like, is there anything even comparable that you can look to?
I'm sure there's been something, but I would have to look that up. I can't offhand think of anything unless it's way back when the University of Chicago, which, I mean, Amos Alonzo Stagg coached there, I believe. I mean, the turn of the last century, it had a pretty high-powered football program and what have you, and they just said, we're cutting it all. We're getting out of the athletics business. We are an academic institution solely. And that was, Lord, I don't know, that was like 100+ years ago. I don't even remember all the details or the year that happened. But since then, especially in this environment where it's big business now, even on the Big West level, which is sort of a low mid-major, it's still a business. And there are reasons, good reasons for universities to have athletic programs because they help the image of the school, they draw donors, they generate enrollment. And to just give all that up, to me, it's a little illogical. It would be a short-sighted decision that would have long-term ramifications.
I think you're exactly right. And as you mentioned, yeah, individual sports being cut, I mean, that happens at a lot of different places, unfortunately, but an entire program, I don't know, that might be unprecedented. And if they actually went that route. I did want to ask you, so if people aren't aware, there's no fall sports right now in the Big West Conference, including UC Riverside, but from what I know right now, they haven't ruled out the possibility of basketball potentially starting on time in November. I guess they would be the next sport on the clock, depending what this decision is going to be on the budget. Like, they would be basically playing games in first or second week in November.
Yeah, so that would be hard to envision, but I wouldn't put it past them to decide, okay, late October, like maybe if they have games scheduled for like the first week in November, I don't know. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I could see them saying, that's all right, too bad, you're done. And part of it is that the campus itself is not open yet. Obviously it's the fall quarter starts in late September, but my understanding is that it's going to be mostly remote learning. So to have classrooms closed, I don't know how you can justify having gymnasiums open, to have people on campus practicing when classes are remotely being given and taken. I don't know. That's a heck of a question. The one thing I would say is men's and women's basketball both have new coaches. So you've got a Mike Magpio who's been an assistant coach all this year. This is his first opportunity to be a head coach. And then you've got Nicole Powell on the women's side, who just came over from Grand Canyon after all the stuff that happened with the women's program. And now they get here, and before they coach a game, they lose their program.
Yeah,
that would be devastating.
Yeah, some bizarre times that we're living in. Jim, we got to wrap this up, but what are you working on next?
Well, tomorrow's paper, we will have a column on the women's golf tournament out in the desert, the ANA Inspiration, which usually takes place in 85-degree temperatures and the like. And now it's going to feel like the surface of hell when they get out there. We're talking 95 degrees tomorrow, and then triple digits Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, plus the fire and all the smoke that has kind of enveloped the area and the poor air quality. I was on a couple of the interviews today, and they were talking about it. It's going to be interesting.
Oh my gosh, yeah, not ideal conditions, but man, that's basically 2020 in a nutshell, I guess.
Exactly.
It's always good talking to you, my friend. Be safe, and let's do this again soon. Maybe we'll do it when Kawhi and the Clippers are in the finals.
Sounds good.
Jim Alexander from the Southern California News Group, the Press Enterprise. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, a big thanks to Jim, Coach Hildebrand, Coach Comaduran, and, of course, Hank Bachmeier from Boise State. And our director, our fearless director, Johnny Nunez, behind the scenes here at Teen Vision TV 16. We appreciate his good work. My name is Pep Fernandez. Be safe. God bless. We'll see you next Wednesday, 6:05 first pitch for the Inland Sports Show.